happy to see all of you. What a gray weekend, right? Gray and rainy, but we will bring the sunshine together, okay? So, today we have a great speaker, okay? This week, here at BIA, we are going to celebrate Hispanic Heritage, okay? On September 15th to October 15th, here in the USA, we celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. Okay, and it's a chance to celebrate many different cultures that are sort of under the Hispanic umbrella. Okay, and throughout this week, you'll be able to go into the office and get some sweets from different countries. So we encourage everyone to try that out. Okay, and if you have any allergies, make sure to talk to Mishima. Okay, and double check what's in the sweets. But we have sweets from different countries. Shh. Now, as we have done, and as we will continue to do, we like to use these opportunities here at BIA to celebrate and learn about many different cultures that are present in this world, right? Because we believe that knowledge and understanding can lead to a lot of brainstorming and new ideas. So it's important when we give you these types of opportunities that you take advantage of them and you try to learn through them, okay? And broaden your perspective and broaden your mind. So today we have a wonderful speaker who will speak to his heritage and the importance it is to him. So we're going to welcome up Mr. Morales.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. My name is Mr. Morales, for those who don't know me, and for those who do, good morning. So today I will be speaking on my heritage, Mexico. I was born in Mexico. So this is what I'm going to be speaking to you about. And this here is the flag. Maybe a lot of you have seen it. If you have never seen it, this is the flag of Mexico. It's green, white, and red with a emblem in the middle, which is we call an escudo, which just means shield. And it's an eagle eating a snake on a cactus. And the meaning behind that was that I didn't look this up. This is something we're taught in school when we're very young. I went to kindergarten in Mexico, and yet they taught us this every day, so I never forgot it, which is that the eagle eating a snake on a cactus means that when the Aztecs were looking for their new capital, their new city to go, one of their shamans told them they had a vision, that go look for the land where you see an eagle eating a snake on a cactus. And they found that land, and it's called Tecnicticuan, which it's sitting on, let's see if I can point it out to you here. And when the conquistadors from Spain came, they took it over and then they changed it to Mexico City, which they laid down the city on top of the ruins of Tecnicticuan. So that is now the capital of Mexico. So we still use that emblem today to remember the heritage or the history of what we started, which was the Aztecs. Now, some things Mexico is known for, I think a lot of you may know tacos, right? So I think that's one thing that's really known about Mexico is that we have tacos. And then we have a picture down there. If you never had one, I encourage you to try them. They are delicious. They have different kinds of, it's basically a tortilla with some sort of meat, and then you have cilantro and onions on top and a spicy salsa. So that's basically my everyday food, if you ever wondered. Tortilla and some kind of meat, not the taco itself. Next, we have the pyramids over here that you can find in the Yucatan Peninsula. I've never gone personally, but I do wish to go. I hear there's a lot of architectural acoustics that are there that were done by these people, and it's just fascinating If you ever want to go visit pyramids but don't want to go all the way to Egypt, you can go here to Mexico in Yucatan. And then two other things that I think we're known for in the art world is we have folklorico dancing. So Mr. Shane, if we can play the top video. So here what you have is these young ladies dancing with these dresses that are very colorful. Now usually you see the young men in the back and they're dressed kind of like I am. Just a plain white shirt and then dancing next to the lady. So to really show off the girl and how they move around, kind of like a peacock, you know, showing their feathers and moving. And it's this is called folklorico. If you ever wonder, try saying that one or try practicing that. All right, so can we stop that one and play the second one? This is called mariachi, and it's a type of music. Just letting you hear it. So you can lower it down. So here is mariachi, and it's a type of music, and it's usually played with violins, guitars, guitarrones, trumpets, and it's a music and that's very dear to me because I used to play mariachi. So I used to dress up like that, and I play the violin, and I used to sing just like that. This song right here is called La Negra, and it's about a young lady who is dark skinned, and this man is very in love with her and saying how much she thinks she's the most beautiful lady. A lot of the songs are made about love or made about being proud of being in love. There are a lot of love songs here. But yeah, if you look at the attire, you can always distinguish it how it looks. They always have the tight pants with the medals coming on each side, the small vest that matches the pants, and then a tucked in white shirt, and then with the bow on top. And then the big hat. They will still wear those big hats. So again, this is I used to do this when I was in middle school and high school, so I did this for about 8 years. And it's very dear to me. It's actually the one reason why I even stick around in school. So I'll tell you this right now. I didn't like school either, but I liked playing mariachi. And they told me, if you don't keep your grades up, you can't play. So then I started getting straight A's, just so I could play. But I think it's one thing I want to point out is we can all find something that we like in our school. And if you really have a passion for it, then you can carry that passion to other things. Question? I play the violin. Yeah. I think we go to the next slide. But I was born in Acapulco, Guerrero. The Guerrero is the state and Acapulco is the city. And here you can see where Acapulco is all the way south. And it's a coastal city. So I used to live right next to the beach. Here we have the flag that was adopted in 2019. Before the flag, we just had the shield. So the shield is a warrior, is Garra Jaguar, which is the jaguar warrior. And we use the warrior because guerrero means warrior. So that's why we use an Aztec warrior. Now here, I just want to show you how far we are from Acapulco right now. It's either a 47-hour drive or looks like about a 12-hour flight. So it's a bit far, but if you ever have a chance to visit, I recommend you stay near the coast. And I'll talk about why. So next slide. So what is Acapulco known for? So Acapulco is known for its beaches, and we have famous divers that would climb off and just free dive. They go up to these giant cliffs, and then you just see them diving. So if you ever go, you'll probably go on a cruise ship that goes around the coast, and you just see these random people who are diving off the cliffs. And these are pretty high cliffs, and they're not really, there's no safety to it. They're just going and doing it. They've been doing it for years, since they were kids. When I lived in Mexico, I thought I was gonna be one of these people, because I always saw them, it looked like they were flying. So I aspired to this. I always tell everybody, I think I could swim before I could walk. And so I really thought that that was gonna be my life. So because we live so close to the ocean, we have a lot of seafood, and I like a lot of seafood. So one of our most famous dishes is called ceviche, which is really just seafood based. And it has octopus, it has clams, shrimp, fish, crab, and it's all mixed up together in a tomato sauce. And then you have obviously chili and onions, and then you have avocado, one of my favorites of all time. We also have pozole, which is maize, is a corn, and then it's kind of like in a soup, kind of a soup base. And then we have a lot of what we call caldos, which are just soups, but they're all seafood based. So it's a lot of seafood that we eat. You can name almost any animal, I think, of the sea. I think I've ate it. So that's how I grew up. So this is what Acapulco is known for, and what Mexico is known for. But I was born in a different region of Acapulco. Next slide. So, oh no. Hold on. I want to see if I can give request to Mr. Shin. Okay, I think I updated you on those requests, Mr. Shin. Okay, so I myself was born just a little bit off the city, and it's called Jardín Mangos, which means the garden of mangoes. And it is true to its name. We just had mango trees growing everywhere, and you just get hit on the head every once in a while because you just be walking and they fall on your head. And then it hurts, and then you get to eat a mango, so it's okay. But this is where I was born, how it looks like. So everybody made their own houses. No, there was no real construction going on, and everybody just had those metal sheets, because we have so many tropical storms that the roofs just always blew off. And if it looks kind of poorish, it's because it was. I grew up very poor, and it's covered with trees, and everybody just makes do with what they have. So that's why this is where I was born, this is where I was raised. and it's up high in the mountains. So just the city is below in the coast, and I'm up in the mountains, just off the city. And these are some pictures of how it looks. And next, I want to show you some videos that I took when I went there in 2023 for the first time after moving to the US when I was 7 years old. So if you play that first one. So this is me just walking to my grandmother's house. And this is what where I was raised looks like. So these tiny streets with these CMU houses, because these are all houses and they're all very tiny, very small, very poor drainage, and it gets flooded all the time because it rains all the time. But it's covered with many trees, and you see all these trees, some of them are just mango trees, and like I said, you walk around and just get hit by a mango. But just from here, you can see the city. And I want to show you this because this is what I know. That I didn't really know the fancy stuff in the city. I just lived up in the mountains. So if you play the next video, it's actually a very personal video. This here is my grandmother's house. And this is a tiny room, maybe a quarter of this room. And in this room, she raised my father and his 9 siblings, all in this room. And she still lives there. We try to provide for her, but she doesn't want to leave. That's where she wants to stay. Even though we tell her we can give you a better place, she's like, no. And it's one of the things that I like and dislike about people here. They're very stubborn. But yeah, that's where my father was raised, and I was raised in a very similar place, maybe even smaller. And the reason I show you this is because even though it may look poor, for me, I was very happy to be there when I was there. It reminded me of a time when I lived there and I could run free. Now, I want to touch on one point about Acapulco. If you look it up, currently it is very dangerous, and it's always been dangerous. And that's true. And I'll tell you right now, there's a lot of cartels and gangs. But that was never my experience. Because up here in the mountains, well, they just didn't want to go up here. It was too hard of a climb. So the people that lived out here, we were very poor, but we were all family. We were a community. And that's what I remember. Though I didn't have much, what I did have was friends, family, neighbors who knew me and who I knew, whose houses I could just go into. And that's how I grew up. And that's what I carry on now. So to me, that's the heritage that I know. I know good food, I know good music, and I know family. Because when you have no money and no material goods, you look out to the things you do have, and that was always friends and family. And that's why I carry that even now. So next slide, please. So this here are some pictures of the family that I met when I went in 2023. That's my grandmother in the corner. She's still alive, still well. And all these are aunts and uncles and nieces and nephews, or just nieces in this picture, and then cousins. And this isn't even half of them. This isn't even 1/10 of them. My dad has 9 siblings. My mom has 10 siblings. And they each have at least 4 to 5 children. Some of them have more. So I have over 100 cousins that I've never met. And a lot of them still live in the same place where we all grew up, which is crazy when I was there. To see 100 people that are directly related to you. But that was, when I went, that was wonderful. And that reminded me of what it means to have family. And it reminded me that that's what I've been searching. When I came to the US, I felt very lonely because it was just me and my parents and no one else. So that's what I strive, and that's what I took from my heritage, is build a family wherever you go, and you'll never be alone, and you'll never feel like you don't have anything. So next slide. So that's what I did. So those two are my parents, and that's my wife on that picture. She may look familiar. Thank you. And then these two photos are a bunch of my friends that I've made along the way, along the years. And that's what I strive to do wherever I go, is build friends, make connections. And I can tell you, I know all of these people personally, and maybe you build those type of connections. And if you haven't, I really encourage you to do, and not focus so much on material things and on your phone, but building connections with people. I think that's the most important thing about the heritage that I inherited, is building connections with people, and good food, and good music. And the last slide is my favorite picture. The last slide. These I consider everyone here my family. These are the people that I love, that came together for me and my wife during our engagement. And these are everyone here I met along the years, and I know them personally, and I call them friends, and I call them family. I call them my brothers and my sisters. And I love this picture because this is the legacy that I built. This is what I work towards, to build connections, because this is what I learned from living in Mexico, and when you had nothing, is have connections, have family, have friends. If you have that, you can keep going, you can move forward, right? And that's what I think Mexico has taught me. Thank you.
Let's give Mr. Morales another round of applause. That was wonderful. How many of you were surprised? Did you get a surprise today? Some of you are like, oh, wait a moment. Okay. So thank you, Mr. Morales. That was phenomenal. And that's important, okay? Then this is the week we want you to think about that. We want you to think about heritage and what you've learned from your own culture, and then we're also going to be looking at different Hispanic cultures, different Hispanic countries, and learning from them, because we have a very beautiful and crazy world where there's so many people and so many different ways to live and so many different cultures and histories. And so the more you absorb that, the more you kind of look into that, the more treasures you're going to find, and also the different perspectives, Mr. Morales had something to share today that was linked to his heritage, but that impacts us all, and we can all take away from that. So I really encourage you to, as you grow, expand your mind and learn about other cultures. And so this week you're going to have the opportunity to do that. And we will have candies in the office. You can come by, you can try a candy out. I do have some more announcements too, okay? So PSAT test is this Friday. That will impact juniors, okay? So all 11th graders, you are taking the test. It is necessary to be on time. So as a junior, please be on time. The test will start promptly after homeroom. So juniors, be on time and you'll have the test. Remember that the hallways need to be silent, okay, Friday. You're doing a pretty good job of that, but hallways should be silent. The following people need to meet with Dr. Swartz. He needs to speak with you, okay? Zfam. Okay, Marco is here. Okay, Marco. Celine is there. Yep. And then Hani. Okay, so you four need to go speak with Dr. Swartz. Okay, he needs to speak with you. You're not in trouble. Just got to put that out there. Okay. The dorm meeting. I've haven't been able to have a dorm meeting yet. This week looks pretty busy for me, so we will do a dorm meeting next Tuesday. So mark it on your calendars. Dorm meeting next Tuesday, 3:10, okay? Lecture hall 3:10. Dorm meeting on Tuesday, October 21. Also, I have a request. Shh. Okay. How many of you have seen our water fountain? We've seen it. Okay. How many of you have ever seen a trash can? Most of us, right? Is a water fountain a trash can? No. Water fountain, trash can do not equal each other. Please, when you have a cup noodle, okay, please do not dump your cup noodle in the water fountain, okay? Because the food just sits there, right? Especially if you're not going to clean it up. It just sits there and it gets gross. So if you are done with your cup noodle, it is nice to get all the liquid out. We appreciate that. But then please throw away all the solids, okay? Do not pour them in the water fountain. Too many people have been doing that, and it just sits there. Okay, so please get the liquid out and then throw it away in a trash can. Okay? Then finally, Miss Shima wanted me to remind you, this weekend we have the Harvest Festival. The lower school, Bridgeport Hope School, has the Harvest Festival. A number of people signed up for community service. A lot of them were dorm students. You need to be on time, okay? If you're signing up for something, that means you're accepting responsibility for that something. That means people are relying on you, okay? So if you sign up, then please be on time. You are being relied on to do what you told us you would do, okay? So if you're not sure when you need to be somewhere, please talk to Ms. Shima and ask, okay? But we're looking for your help. You've signed up. Please hold your end of the bargain and show up when we need you, okay? And you will get community service hours for it. Any other announcements? Okay. Oh, no, yes, no. Okay. Okay, everyone. So have a wonderful week, and we will see you around. Have a great